And now,
Hire Away with Collins Harlan.
Welcome to Hire Away. Hire Away is a show where we talk about jobs, we talk about business, and we talk to the people that are doing those jobs and operating those businesses. So these are people with real skin in the game. My name's Collins. I'm with Labor Finders. We're a full-service recruiting firm. And in St. Louis, we have an office in North County. We have my branch in South County. But we have offices all over the country. So if you're looking for people, especially as spring is right around the corner, all you have to do is go to laborfinders.com. That's laborfinders.com. And you just find the branch nearest you, call them up, and they'll help you out. All right, so today's guest is Richard Kruckemeyer, and he is the GM of the job publication Job News USA. And it's not just a publication. They do have the print version, but as you can imagine, they've really expanded their services to include online services. And they also host job fairs. They do 6 job fairs a year, I believe, and these are big job fairs. These are job fairs that companies, some of the biggest companies here in the St. Louis area, actually pay to attend. So you're talking anywhere from 20, 30 employers on up typically to more like 50 or 70 employers. And it's always right here in Maryland Heights, very convenient, and they're just really good event to attend. He's going to talk about all that. He's going to tell you a little bit more about Job News, how they work, how they attract applicants, how they help applicants, and more importantly, how they help their clients find the people they need, these companies that are hiring. So without any further ado, let's talk to Richard.
Hire Away!
Rick Kruckemeyer.
Yes, sir.
You're with Job News USA, and you've got a big job fair coming up that we'd like to promote.
We do, yeah. It's March the 26th. Mm-hmm. We do 6 a year.
Mm-hmm. 6 a year?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we do them all at Orlando Event Center in Maryland Heights, right over here at Dorset and 270. Mm-hmm. And we find it to be a fantastic venue for us because, it's wedding receptions there in the evening. So we provide a lunch for our employers. So we have great food in our hospitality room for the employers that attend. And most St. Louisans have heard of Orlando's. They have one in South County, and they have one right over here. Yeah. And so the job seeker, when we're advertising to them to come find a job, they've heard of the space. Yep. So it's in a lot of free parking. It's right behind the new Chick-fil-A. That's always a landmark in St. Louis, right? Yeah. So
love Chick-fil-A.
It's a great location. We generally, it depends on the time of year, have 35 to 45 employers. Mm-hmm. We've had as many as 70 coming out of COVID in 2021 when things were going nuts.
Those are big job fairs.
And people were hiring again. But we have about between 500 and 600 job seekers come through, and they're, great events. It's an all-industry event. So
that's interesting, yeah.
So,
and it's centrally located, too,
yeah.
Orlando. So, no matter where you live, you're 15 minutes away.
We get a lot of people from St. Charles. We draw job seekers both on our in-person events and our digital platform from the 8-county area, Madison, mm-hmm. Monroe, and St. Clair on the east side, mm-hmm. St. Louis City, St. Louis County, St. Charles, Jefferson, Franklin, and all as far out as Warren and Lincoln. So it's got wide scope, and so people are willing to drive. Mm-hmm. And we have employers from all over, that participate.
So we're going to throw up a graphic tell businesses how to sign up for this job fair. Well, the producers will put all that up. But how did you get into this line of work? What did you do before Job News?
I worked for AT&T for 34 years.
34 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was in sales and many levels of management. Mm-hmm. I started with the Yellow Page business when that was when it's heyday.
Yeah.
I started in 82, so that tells people how old I am now on here. But the Yellow Page business early on was a great business.
Yes.
And particularly in the early 80s, professionals started advertising. Mm-hmm. Lawyers, chiropractors, dentists, physicians started advertising in the book. And that's you watch any television, who's on there? Personal injury attorneys,
correct.
Chiropractors, dentists. And so that was a great time to be in the business because they understood return on investment.
Yeah.
So if you're a personal injury attorney and you're buying a $3,000 a month ad in the St. Louis Yellow Pages, they're making 10 times that on one case. So they liked return on investment. They were intelligent people because they obviously mastered their trade. And so they were great to work with. So our business boomed, and it was a great business until, all print media started, coming down. And so we kind of transitioned into internet Yellow Pages and more building websites for clients and other social media type stuff. But, the Yellow Page business was a great business to be in.
The Yellow Pages was all we had, and like you mentioned, when the internet started to become more prominent, there was the digital Yellow Pages, but
Sure.
But with all the different, even that's
it didn't have the power and the revenue and the scope that our print product had. And it wasn't just the Yellow Pages; it was all print media. Look at the newspaper industry today. I mean, magazines. So it's all online.
Yeah, you can't escape that. And so let's talk about your product, because obviously you have the big job fair coming up. There's still plenty of time to sign up for it, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. And you can provide them with tables, electricity.
We do all that, yeah.
Whatever they need. Okay, so let's talk about your product, because it's unique. It's a lot of times when people think about posting an ad, they go to a job board like Indeed or ZipRecruiter. Tell us about Job News and how you can help.
Well, in addition to doing live events throughout the Midwest, Texas and Florida, we have markets that we do live hiring events in. We can do our digital platform nationwide. So any client, we have clients who have offices all over the country that we provide services for them. But what we do, we're a wholesale broker for all the players in the industry.
A wholesale broker.
So basically what that means is when you buy either our 30-day guaranteed impression campaigns or our digital job blasts that run for 7 days, we put you on 50-plus sites.
Wow.
It's all the top job boards, the social media, and the search engines that are in the recruitment space. And so we put them on those sites, and then we feed the applicants back through our dashboard directly to the client. And you're going to say, well, how can you do that for that? Because we have nationwide buying power with these sites. So you say everybody's on Indeed, ZipRecruiter. Absolutely they are. But they're a partner of ours.
Interesting. Yeah.
So we have the power of that.
I was going to say, I've seen your pricing. It's very affordable.
Right.
And so that would have been my question as a potential client is how do you do all that for, that amount of money?
Because the nationwide buying power and the money we spend with them, we're a preferred client.
That's really interesting.
And then the client becomes a preferred client because of us, because we have that relationship with all of these properties.
Gotcha. So, and then of course, we want to talk about the applicants too. It wouldn't work without, the applicants.
Right.
I guess I should back up. I like what you said. The employers, anyone that signs up with Job News has a dashboard and they can control everything from there.
Right.
And I think we have a visual of that actually.
Okay.
But the applicants, what is that experience like? Because it's very important.
Well, I mean, look at, just the last 5 years, COVID and what that did and closed the country down. And then businesses were trying to figure out, how do I build my sales team back up, my manufacturing, people all slowed down. And they looked for different ways. But, there's what we call in the business active and passive job seekers. So on the job boards, that's an active job seeker because they've reached out to Indeed, ZipRecruiter, Monster in its heyday, any of the job boards. They look on there because they're actively looking for a job.
Right.
On the other hand, there's people that are relatively happy with their job or, just feel like they want to stick with what they're doing for now. Our social media is a passive job seeker. So if you're out there on Facebook or one of the other sites, we put up banner ads on the side that says, okay, Dobbs Tire and Auto, they're hiring for auto mechanics in St. Louis, Missouri. And so they'll see that, and they're an auto mechanic working at a local Shell station, making $19 an hour, and Dobbs is offering $28.
Right.
They're going to see that, and they're thinking, wow, I never even thought about switching jobs.
Yeah.
So that's the passive job seeker.
Sure.
They're either entrenched, happy, not actively looking, but then all of a sudden they see an opportunity. So there's a twofold.
That's really impressive and much needed. I think that's a really big feature.
It is.
That you offer. And, to put myself in like an employer's shoes, there's nothing wrong with an active job seeker. They might be great. There are plenty of great people out there, but it would be attractive to me to find somebody that is holding a job. They always say it's easier to find a job if you have one.
When you have a job, right?
That's right. And one of the things that I would...
So I advise people never to quit until you found something else.
Absolutely. But as an employer, it would be nice to know that the person coming in for an interview is employed, he's not desperate, and he's proven himself.
Right. And they have the skill set to do the job.
Absolutely. And they're employed, so they have the work ethic. There's a lot of things that are already screened out with a passive job seeker that can make the hiring process
and the passive and active both come to the live hiring events too. Because we see we run them from 10 to 2, and we see a big spurt around lunchtime. And you can tell people, at least in the old days, that would have a suit and tie on, that they were at another job.
Sure.
And we have a really big rush between 11 and 12, because we do them here at Orlando's and Maryland Heights. Think of the businesses around the Westport area.
Of course.
They're going to think, hey, I'm going to run over to the job fair.
Yeah.
And in fact, it's funny, we've had people in there that would see another peer from their own company and say, oh, don't tell them I'm here.
You can't tell on each other, so that's great. That's funny. Yeah. But I'm sure that happens. And so what about, you mentioned Dobbs. That's instantly recognizable. Right. And man, they're a successful company. They've got it down. So Dobbs, I was looking on your website, Job News, and you've got some big customers. Do you have any testimonials that you could talk about?
Well, I mean, our biggest testimony is the customers that keep coming back. We do 6 job fairs a year, and a big percentage of them come to all 6. So they wouldn't be coming if it didn't work. I mean, Enterprise Mobility comes to all of them. McKesson, big out in St. Charles, they come to all of them. If you look at our verticals real quick that do well in our business, it's sales, it's customer service, it's hospitality, it's warehouse, it's manufacturing, it's healthcare. Healthcare is a variety of it. It's the big hospitals. Mercy was at our last event. It's the nursing homes, and the nursing homes, I think, whatever it's skilled or the higher levels, it's just like any other business. They not only need RNs, LPNs, CMTs, CNAs, they need housekeeping, security, janitorial. So it's a wide variety of jobs that all these businesses need. So that's the beauty of that's why we do the all industry events. We've tried through the years to do like a healthcare job fair and all that, and it wasn't effective for us.
Gotcha. So how many employers will be at this particular job fair so far?
Well, it's early on. We're 6 weeks out. It's 6 weeks from yesterday. So a lot of people, the ones that have already signed up, there's about 20.
That's still a lot.
That's still a lot, yeah. And the spring one's a big event for us. So I'll say we close in on 50. So you got the ones that are already signed up, then you got the ones who came for the first time in January, and they're kind of figuring out the ROI already, because it's just 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And they're trying to see, hey, did I hire Joe or Susie Smith? And if that's happened, they're likely to come back. And then there's always, of course, the new people. And particularly our spring event, it's seasonal businesses that attend. Think about all of the entertainment type businesses.
Oh, yeah,
think
hospitality,
Think of roofers. We do quite a bit with home improvement companies. Windows, siding, roofing, guttering, landscape type businesses. That all kicks off. I mean, we had 12 inches of snow last week, and it's going to be 70 degrees next Wednesday.
Right.
That's St. Louis, right?
Yeah, it's almost 70 today.
So a lot of those seasonal businesses attend our spring event.
I bet you get a lot of traction there this spring because of the H-2B visa situation.
Well, we've seen that more in our Texas and Florida markets.
Gotcha.
We do a huge event in South Florida. Because when you think about it, we do it where the Florida Panthers in their arena, where they won, the Stanley Cup was the last 2 years, I think.
Yep.
So the arena there, it completely encircles.
Wow.
It's out in the the concourse area.
Yeah.
But they're drawing from 15 million people down
Sure,
there.
yeah.
And it's in Fort Lauderdale, their stadium. But you got Miami, the whole South Florida. And they ran into some of that. And the employers ran into some of that when the border was closed. And then, people were leaving the country.
So, and the important thing that I want viewers to understand here is, and potential customers of yours, is that, this works, that you solve those problems, but also I want them to understand how it works.
Okay.
So you had mentioned a few things. You mentioned job blasts, and you had mentioned guaranteed impressions. And
the job blast and the guaranteed impression campaigns are the same elements.
Gotcha.
But the guaranteed impression campaign run for 30 days. And so let's just say you're looking for a plant manager. Procter & Gamble's looking for a plant manager. So that's a higher type position. So they're going to invest a little more in that. So they will send me the job description for the plant manager. We'll get them a quote. And so over 30 days, how many guaranteed impressions can you get me? And so let's just say that's 250. So we'll pace it out over and some customers want it to the 30 days to happen quick. And so let's say, put my budget in the first 7. But most of them, we pace it out over 30 days. We make adjustments where necessary. So if we haven't met the 250 by day 30, we continue to run it for the client at no additional charge.
That's important.
Conversely, if we hit it on week 3, we keep running it till the 30 days. So it's guaranteed on both ends.
That's huge. I mean, customers need to know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really huge. So there's a guaranteed impression job blast approach. And then you have the job fairs that you do, like I stumbled and said something wrong in the beginning, but one every 2 months, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And are employers able to funnel any of these candidates through their own software, their own tracking systems?
They are, yeah. So we have clients that we have a space for them to do live interviews, and they'll put them on there and they say, go apply on my ATS.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And we have this, if clients want to versus go to our dashboard, apply and have them go direct with the ATS, that's fine because we can show them impressions but not actual apply. And so some like to do it that way. Some like to see the ROI. It's easier to prove ROI when they go through our dashboard because you're seeing actual impressions and applies. But customers that have been doing business for a long time, they're not gauging ROI anymore. They know when they put a campaign up, they see a big spike.
They see it as a tool that works. They're not. Yeah. So that's very interesting. At least you're flexible like that. And I really like the feature that you described right before that topic with the if it doesn't work, you keep going.
Right.
And that's really, really big. Now, when you say,
what we mean by a guaranteed impression is that the job seeker has viewed it on one of the platforms. They wouldn't necessarily have applied. They have viewed and they've opened the link to the job.
It's an impression.
It's an impression. Yeah. So it's not like just see it on a screen. That's not that type of impression.
Gotcha.
They've opened the link.
They've engaged with it.
They've engaged with it. Correct.
Yeah. So that is a big difference, and that's good. So I'm pretty impressed. I don't currently use Job News, but you've really got me thinking. And I've taken a couple calls this week for positions that I think would be a good match for one of those campaigns. We got a call from one of the park districts. They needed a superintendent. Yeah. Yeah. And I just thought, I could place an ad on Indeed, but after talking to you, I'm rolling the dice with Indeed.
Well, you're not rolling the dice when you do it because Indeed is a partner. So
exactly.
Right? You're not rolling the dice at all. You're saying, I'm not going to do my Indeed, but when you do ours, you're on that platform as well. And I see that objection quite often. Hey, I'm already on Indeed, which they're they're number one. They're the best, and the other top job boards. And I say, great, you buy this product, you're on Indeed plus 48 others.
I just love it. As a recruiter, I can't not smile at that. That's really good. Yeah. So if somebody wants to, and I think we have the link for the job fair, but if somebody wants to just get a hold of you and talk about pricing and things of that nature and different packages, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, Just my email address or my phone number at the office, 636-489-5400. Or, I'm sure we'll have my contact information up on the screen.
We'll definitely put it up on the screen,
Yeah, so you can call me anytime. And I do a lot of new business development, or I'll put it off to one of my salespeople. We have a lot of salespeople remotely around the Midwest that, that do cold calling and new business development.
Yeah, when I didn't realize how big job news was until you called me and I started looking into it. How long have you guys been in business?
About 30 years.
Wow.
Weathering
all those storms like we talked about in the beginning.
Right, exactly. A guy named Michael Talbot started over in Louisville, and he had a weekly print publication until everybody else was in the print business. So that would be in the grocery stores and all the high traffic places. And it was an effective, it was a good return on investment. But that started losing its luster, just like the Yellow Pages did, and just like Time Magazine and Sports Illustrated have done, the newspapers. So he was smart enough to segue and came up with this unique approach to the market, approached the big players and said, hey, let me be a preferred customer discount, and I'll bring you more business.
So it's just a great story because, times change. You go through periods, industry changes, sometimes big changes like print media fell by the wayside. But the fact that you guys have been able to adapt and stay in the hunt and position yourselves where you are in the market, which is up there.
Well, it's funny. When I was in the Yellow Page business, it was bringing advertisers and buyers together. Now in this business, it's bringing employers and job seekers together. Same thing.
It is. It's a dating service for employers and job seekers.
It's exactly right. Yeah.
I don't want to I'm just joking.
No. It is. It absolutely is.
Yeah. So, but that's what we need. Both companies and job seekers is we need a bridge.
Right.
And it's about who can do that most effectively.
Because things are going to evolve. All you hear all day long is AI and what's that going to do for basic labor jobs. But so people have to adapt.
What's your view on AI?
I think it's interesting. I'm not sure we're there yet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we'll see. Certainly, there's a lot of smart people. There's a lot of money behind it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the big players, the Magnificent Seven, everybody's looking at it. And if it's a more effective way to run the economy and to manufacture and to take care of people. And, I saw something the other day that even in healthcare, I mean, there's a show on TV where they I think it's Chicago Med or something, where they're talking to the guy and the computer's telling the surgeon what to do.
Right. Yeah.
And, in detection early detection for cancer, versus some of the, other blood tests or scans or that could be very, very effective. So, I mean, certainly it's going to be big news.
Yeah.
Maybe after you and I are retired. But
well, I kind of hope so, actually. No, but I agree with you. I don't think it's quite there yet, but it's impossible not to see the implications, especially in healthcare.
Right.
We're already starting to see it, but everywhere. And, let's face it. I mean, like you noted, if we can put AI to work to help us with the more mundane tasks, there's no downside to that.
Right.
It doesn't replace a job. That enhances a job.
Well, and the other thing, there's so many people that are in the HVAC business.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the need for skilled labor is very high.
Yes, it is.
And, there's people that there's one of the trade schools was advertising this. Hey, it was somebody who was a drywall person said, hey, I've got a degree that I'm not using. I'm making twice what I would being a drywaller than I was with my teaching degree or whatever it was.
Right, yeah. But then again, did you know they have drywall robots now?
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they do. We did so they're it's like a base with an arm and it does finishing and things
the sanding and all that, yeah.
But, it was a whole different show. We featured that, but they have robots that build houses and all that kind of stuff. Right. But, even though they have those robots, that's still not replacing the human because you'd want somebody who was a drywaller on that project as well because machines aren't they break down,
Right.
and they're not perfect. They don't walk around, go to lunch, come back. You might have to move them or reposition them, recalibrate, whatever. So you'd want somebody who is skilled at drywall to be able to do that. But
And then these driverless cars.
Waymo and things.
Yeah, they were trying their deal in St. Louis until somebody got ran over and then it kind of got delayed.
Did that really happen?
I'm not sure that there's been talk of that around the country.
I know they run over cats.
I don't know that Waymo had that happen here, but I mean that's certainly a liability issue.
Yeah, I saw one recently in the 63110, like the Midtown, and it was the first one I've ever seen in St. Louis. I was pretty impressed with it, but then again, they say they drive right through construction sites and police, investigation sites. So I agree. We're not quite there yet, but you can't get there until you try. So and perfect these things.
Well, they don't talk back to you like the Uber drivers and them do.
That's true. I never know what to say to an Uber driver. I just never do. I end up having pretty good conversations, but so all right. So
I'm mostly in an Uber when I should be in an Uber.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, well, that's smart. You must have a high IQ, or at least higher than mine. I don't know. That's funny. All right,
the people from Soulard tomorrow should be taking an Uber.
Oh, for sure. We should have a whole fleet of them lined up, ready to go, and I bet there will be.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're running a little short on time, but I really want to nail this down. That on the 26th, what time does the job? Again, what is the time frame?
It's 10 to 2.
Okay.
If you're an employer, they know that they set up by about 9:15.
Sure.
But it's 10 to 2.
Yeah.
And, like I said, we see a surge around lunchtime for people who are still working. You can tell they're going to rush back to their current job.
Yep.
But, come anytime from 10 to 2. I would recommend coming from 10 to 1:30 because, some of the employers are starting to think, hey, I got to get back to the office.
Yep.
And that's the one thing, you're in the business, the HR professionals, they're asked to do so many jobs today. And I'll tell you a quick story is if I see an employer who has paid money to come to my event and they're sitting behind their desk at the job fair on their laptop, not engaging with customers, you know what I say? Don't come back.
Right.
Because, they're going to go back and tell their boss, oh, this was not a good event.
Yeah.
And it was a waste of money.
And that's not true.
It's not. They didn't engage.
Yeah.
The ones that are effective stand in front of their table.
Yep.
And they drag people in.
That's right.
But I say, don't waste your money. I tell them, why do I want that kind of customer?
And really, you're helping them out too.
That's right.
It's a win-win. So, yeah, I've noticed that about job fairs before we go is I learned really quick that you have to be out engaging people. You want to bring things that people draw them to your table, but you want to be out because what happens at a job fair, you want to bring more than one person.
Right.
If you can have 3 people engaging and one behind the table doing whatever, processing, that's best because what happens is you'll get one person come to your table and they're talking to somebody else. And that draws more people because they see something's going on and they want to talk too. And then you have another person, so now you've got both of your representatives tied up. You almost need a third one. You can do it with 2.
Well, certainly, and Ameristar Casino comes to many of our events, and they're hiring for everything.
Yeah.
And their table generally has a long line. So we have a separate room for private interviews. So a lot of clients will bring 3 people to work table and 3 people in the interview room. And so that works out well. They just say, go in here.
Sounds like it's a really nice experience, and I can't wait. I'm going to be attending.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks to you, by the way. And
they're high energy events.
Yeah.
And, I as a local general manager, I don't want to waste employers' time or job seekers' time. I don't want to. So you want to have a good mix of employers there that's worth their time to come. And from the employer's perspective, you want to have a good mix of job seekers. It's they're wasting their time. But like I tell, if you want to come to a good event, come to ours, and come prepared to work.
That's right. What about the applicants themselves? They also have to sign up, and is there any fee for applicants?
Well, there's no fee, and they don't have to sign up.
Okay.
When we put it out on these platforms, we ask them to pre-register just so we can kind of get a feel for the day. And it's funny, we may have 400 people pre-register and 600 people show up. We may have 600 people pre-register and 400 show up. We do have certain people that are not gaming the system, but they're on unemployment and they have to say so many approaches each week. And so some of them come through and take the candy off the table and say, I did 6 interviews today.
and got four lollipops and some swag. But I imagine that's a pretty low percentage.
It is. Yeah, it is.
It just happens. It's everywhere. So, good luck in the job fair. And for the people listening, if you're looking for work, you don't need to sign up. You should go to the website. Go ahead and
you can,
register.
but it's not required.
But just show up, and of course, all the information for that will be up on the screen. If you're an employer, I've seen the pricing, and I now know a lot, and hopefully you know a little bit more about what they offer. And you can't get that anywhere else. You just can't. So you hear ZipRecruiter ads. Oh, we place your. But you're a wholesale broker. Mm-hmm. That's the whole key. And it's not just ZipRecruiter. I mean, how many sites sometimes you
up to 50, and we customize it to the particular client.
So you do a lot of work behind the scenes.
Yeah, we have a full-time team that looks and engages, especially on the guaranteed impression campaigns.
Yeah,
because they're looking to meet that impression.
Right. Yeah.
And so they're making adjustments and moving from this site. So let's just say a hospitality works better on this site, or healthcare works better on this site. They put them on the sites that work the best.
I think it's amazing. And so you guys take that as like a mandate. You're like, this person wants this type of, come on team, we gotta make sure we distribute this properly, and you monitor it and you rearrange, almost like somebody who is managing your investments would do.
Right.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Well, and it is investment. It's investment dollars, recruiting dollars. So I think it's fantastic. And I'm going to be calling you shortly to discuss a package myself,
okay.
I think. So, Rick, thank you so much for being here. And,
it was a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Will you be at the job fair?
Oh, absolutely. I'm the host.
Oh, that's great. Well, we'll see you there.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Collins. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. Okay, so that was a really insightful interview. Again, the job fair, I think, let me check my notes here, March 26th at Orlando's in Maryland Heights. But really what I like about Job News' approach to this is the fact that they are a wholesale broker. So not only do you have their team behind the scenes managing your job search for you in real time. If something's not working, they make an adjustment. If that doesn't work, they make another adjustment. Your success is their success. So I've seen their pricing. It's pretty good. It's very competitive. And so just one last plug for Job News. If you're interested, give them a call, check them out. And I think it's a really good tool. All right. So what we have next is, of course, the job of the week, which is a pretty good one. Stay tuned for that. It's a position out in Eureka, Missouri. But also, please make sure you share, like this, subscribe when it's available, and we'll see you next Tuesday with another exciting guest. Thank you.
Hire away with Collins Harlan.